For their efforts, the Clippers get to face the Utah Jazz. You know, just a team with the best record in the regular season in the NBA. Also hitting, 17 threes per game. Coach, let's go to you on this one. I look at these two teams, Clippers, third in offensive rating, Jazz, fourth in offensive rating. Two teams that know how to score.
Yeah, and I think it's a contrast in style as well. Both teams shot the ball extremely well from the three-point line. Both teams were extremely efficient all year, but they do it differently. And Utah really spaced the floor. Every time you watch an offensive clip with the Utah Jazz, the corners are filled. They're spaced up the floor, and Rudy Gobert is anchoring around the elbows and sometimes behind the basket. And they just play penetration. They play penetration. They beat you one-on-one. If they don't have it, they get off of it quick. And that's how they create three-point shots. And obviously Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, they know how to get to their spots. And if you have to send another defender, which a lot of teams have to do, they create and trust their teammates to make those shots.
Who has the advantage in this series?
It's hard to say who really does have the advantage. You would probably have to say that, the Clippers have the advantage only because, you're looking at Kawhi Leonard, two-time MVP in the finals and what he's capable of doing. However, this is a very evenly matched series, as all of them are out in the West. But, Kawhi can be special, but we saw in the bubble, Donovan Mitchell can be special too. So this will be a good matchup. Two teams that like to shoot the three, two teams that understand how to win basketball games, and two teams that have faced adversity over the years, have come back, played well, and have risen. So, between Snyder and Ty Lue, this is going to be a good coaching matchup also.
Tuesday on TNT, get to see game one between those two teams. And looking at the Dallas Mavericks, whose season comes to an end, they've been eliminated in the first round of each of their last 6 playoff appearances. That's since winning the title since 2011. You see some of those free agents. Tim Hardaway Jr., Josh Richardson, Boban Marjanovic. It seems like though Luka had an incredible playoff series, this seems to be a team that we might see some changes.
Well, I think you'll see some changes. And I think the biggest change will be, are they going to commit to this style of play the way Houston committed to James Harden? So it's like you got Luka playing very similar to the way James Harden played in Houston. Are you going to commit to that style of play, that system, and get players to fit that? Or are you going to move to a more, team style where everyone gets to touch it, feel it, move it?
Yeah, I agree. I think, as you study the series and you study the season and you say, this was a hard-fought battle for 7 games, and we needed everything out of Luka Doncic if you're the Dallas Mavericks. How do you get easy baskets? How do you find more production from other guys? And how do you do it where there's just full empowerment? They're close, and Luka's a star, but every team's going to evaluate their roster, and they're going to evaluate their style of play, and they're going to evaluate everything and see what do we need to do to move forward. And I think one of the things is we have to relieve some of the pressure that Luka Doncic has to produce night in and night out. Also take away some of the attention that teams are facing and giving them every single game.
Coach, 2-3 years ago in Houston, right? Wasn't we saying the same thing about James Harden that you just said about Houston? We were saying, okay, James Harden was getting to the Western Conference Finals, every year, but it was like that style of play. Could he get over the hump? And I don't know if Dallas can, playing this way.